Kaboom! Hell hath no fury like a fatso dictator scorned. North Korea blew up the joint liaison office in the border city of Kaesong used for bettering ties with South Korea after days of rising tensions on June 16th. South Korea's Ministry of Unification has confirmed the story with a statement registering its deep regret and protest over the North's action. According to the BBC, the Joint Liaison Office was established in 2018 to improve communications, though industrial cooperation in Kaesong was already halted by 2016. The Guardian reports South Korea evacuated the liaison office in January due to the coronavirus pandemic. North Korea issued a statement saying, quote, "We have exploded the eyesore North-South Joint Liaison Office," adding that, quote, "There are nothing to be implemented and no future for the North-South relations." North Korea leader Kim Jong-un's sister Kim Yo-jong has been making threats to demolish the liaison office. The BBC reports that during Kim Jong-un's absence in April, several observers speculated that Kim Yo-jong could become his successor. North Korea's cited reason for destroying the site was that defectors have ballooned propaganda leaflets over from the south. And there goes the neighborhood. Want to learn more about North Korea? Well, there was a gunfight on the border back in May. Soldiers fired at each other across the Korean DMZ on Sunday, according to the South Korean military. North and South Korean troops exchanged small arms fire in the demilitarized zone on May 3rd. Citing a statement from the South Korean Joint Chiefs of Staff, the Korea Herald reports North Korea fired first but inflicted no casualties on South Korean forces. According to the Yonhap news agency, North Korean troops fired multiple shots at a South Korean outpost early in the morning, while the garrison returned 2 shots. The South Korean military states North Korea apparently fired, quote, "unintentionally." The state-funded news agency cites the military as saying the morning's fog would have obscured firing targets. Additionally, the ground occupied by North Korean troops offered no tactical advantage over the outpost. The 155-mile or 250-kilometer-long DMZ is heavily defended by mines, fences, and guard posts, and rates as the world's most militarized border. The border clash occurred a day after North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un seemingly re-emerged in public to inspect a fertilizer plant, according to an image published by North Korea's state-run KCNA. Speaking to the Japan Times, Ewha University International Affairs professor Leif Eric Easley says Pyongyang may have orchestrated the shooting to raise military morale and gain leverage to make up for reports of Kim's possible demise. Separately, on May 3rd, Yonhap reports officials in Seoul believe that Kim is alive and that the dictator has not undergone surgery, citing an anonymous governmental source. Also, we covered the story when little Kim, who is not at all little, disappeared in April.
Today we're going to continue looking into North Korea and the sudden reappearance of Kim Jong-un, in those photos that people claim are his body double. NK Daily, a South Korean newspaper with informants on the bad side of the border, claim that the Hermit Kingdom's Pyongyang officials scrambled together in a 48-hour panic and mysteriously organized that ribbon-cutting function of the fertilizer factory we saw just to prove he was alive. The report also claims that said factory is unfinished and inoperable. The newspaper's informant said, for 2 days the construction workers fully devoted themselves to preparing the ceremony. They worked themselves to the bone day and night to create the appearance of a finished factory, coating the outside of the building and fitting it with glass. The source claims that in addition, all factory personnel and even their families were mobilized to plant flower beds and clean the roads within the factory grounds. Despite this mass mobilization of labor, no one had any idea that it would be their supreme leader, Kim Jong-un, that would be opening the factory. The insider said nobody on site expected that the event would involve Kim Jong-un himself. Everyone knows that construction was not complete. The factory has also encountered difficulties importing modern machinery and raw materials to produce the phosphatic fertilizer it was built for, or being built for. The Central Committee of North Korea reportedly issued an order that the factory must have at least 2 production lines running by October 10th, the anniversary of the founding of North Korea's Communist Party. Currently, the majority of the fertilizer used in North Korea comes from their pals in China. Kim Jong-un's sudden re-emergence at the factory after a strange 3 weeks out may have been an attempt to draw attention to the fruits of North Korea's frontal breakthrough strategy, as well as to rally and inspire increased food food production amid the country's food shortages. However, this doesn't explain why he was away from the public eye for so long. Mintaro Oba, a former US official who worked on North Korea, told ABC, "The blunt truth is that we can speculate all we want about where Kim Jong-un was and why he disappeared, but we simply don't know. If he was hiding out to protect himself from the coronavirus, as South Korea said, then that would contradict North Korea's claims of zero coronavirus cases." Stay tuned as this story unfolds.
Why all the sound and fury about a backwater totalitarian state? Short answer, they have missiles and nukes.
North Korea has continued development of its nuclear and missile programs, according to a confidential United Nations report seen by Reuters. According to the report, the country conducted 13 missile tests last year and launched roughly 25 missiles. This included new short-range and submarine-launched ballistic missiles. It mentioned that North Korea has continued to develop infrastructure and capacity to enhance its missile program. The UN report says that the country also exported tons of commodities such as coal using Chinese barges, even though North Korea has been banned from doing so since 2017. DPRK-flagged vessels would transfer over the commodities to local Chinese barges, a method known as ship-to-ship transfer, which would then deliver the goods to ports in Hangzhou Bay and the Yangtze River in China. In a statement, China called the accusations baseless and said that it is implementing UN sanctions against North Korea. According to the report, North Korea also continued to illegally import refined petroleum using the same method. Reuters reports that the country has been allowed to import 500,000 barrels of refined petroleum under current sanctions, but the report found that North Korea exceeded the limit many times over between January 1st and October 31st of last year. According to Reuters, North Korea's allies, Russia and China, have both raised concerns saying that the UN sanctions are causing harm to civilians in North Korea. The United States, France, and Great Britain have all said that sanctions should not be lifted. Reuters reports that North Korea has been sanctioned by the United Nations since 2006. Members of the UN Security Council have imposed harsher sanctions against the Hermit Kingdom over the years to deprive the country of funding for its nuclear and ballistic missile programs.
For more news animations and explainers, hit the subscribe and bell button to join the TomoNews family. Thanks for watching.